Good morning, everybody. This is Diggs. It's another beautiful day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and today, welcome to another Patch Notes PSA for Kuni, where we're going to talk about everything you need to know about the most recently released patch, what's most important, and that's going to be a lot of crossfield stuff, and then we'll go into some of the other patch note stuff as well. So let's go ahead and dig in. So there's been a lot of confusion about the crossfields because some servers have access to it, some don't. That of course comes down to the scheduling. So if you didn't realize, there is actually a schedule for matchmaking for cross fields, and what happens is there's a 20-minute matchmaking period between 8 and 8:20 Pacific time, or server time. Sorry, not Pacific time, server time. And in that period, crossfields is not available because it's matching you up against another server for the tower fight, right? And that's going to be every day. The reason we don't have access to crossfields right now, if you are in North America or one of the other regions, is because we are not, like, we never had that initial matchmaking session happen. So we're basically in a holding period until the matchmaking happens, which will be, for me, later tonight at around 5 p.m. PST is when it's going to start. You'll get a message that pops up and it'll say, you know, we're server matchmaking. It's going to take 20 minutes, you know, and then the match or the battle for the towers is going to begin. Now, there's some important things to know about this. So I've been working with a lot of my C viewers in my Discord, and I've been kind of watching and learning from them. And one really important thing here, I have a variety of screenshots for you guys, is that you need to be careful. So if you are a slightly populated server, right, and you look at channel 99 here, channel 99 is where the battle for the tower happens. Okay, so when you go in, you can actually block people out, right? If you have enough people show up, you can actually block people out, or you can block high CP players out. So very similar to Field Boss or Chaos Field Boss, the channel does have limits to the amount of people that can be in it. So you're gonna have to potentially consider workarounds to get through that or to bypass that. But for example, in this situation, when I was talking to both Maxiton, AO, and Half Mint, is they actually lost their tower battle because what happened is so many low CP players went into the channel that their high CP players weren't prepared for this. The guilds weren't aware of this, and all of the high CP players got locked out of this. So something to keep in mind, particularly with the tower battle, is you want to make sure that you're able to get people in there and that you are able to kind of push your way in fully. Now, there is a couple of other things I want to talk about here regarding the crossfield stuff. I have a couple of screenshots here which we've gone through. This is going to be the one of the participation rewards, going to be the map along with the tower. You can't use potions, so you'll get a little red X through them. You can't use PK shields, which we also found out. Your timer is probably the most important thing in the entire idea of this crossfield, and you can turn the timer on and off. And an important thing to know, when you're fighting the boss, you do not need to have the timer on. So the timer is literally used for you to farm and kill enemies. And I would advise you guys, particularly on the NA side, go and kill enemies and try to increase your penetration before the boss spawns. So the boss is a 12-hour spawn window, but it does seem like on the global side is going to be more solid. You actually get a notification saying that a cross server boss is going to spawn, kind of all of that, and it seems like it has a relatively set spawn time, so it's going to be pretty easy to consistently show up to it. But when it did spawn, I was watching tons of players fight a 1.2 billion HP monster, and because they didn't have the penetration, they couldn't actually kill him. They were only able to deal 1 damage each hit to the monster. So Potentially on the global side, if we want to maybe avoid this, we may want to try using our 30 minutes of farm time beforehand to try and sort through and at least be able to do more than one damage to the boss. We might not even be able to get that much penetration, but this is the like first level floor boss. So if you can't kill the floor boss right away, don't beat yourself up. Level up your cube, level up your other accessories that you're equipping on there. Just focus on that as your priority right now. One other thing in terms of time as well, if you're going to PK other players, you do need to activate your time. If you don't have your time activated, you can still be PK'd by other players. But the best way to do it is just to leave your time off until you are literally actively farming in the moment. Is going to be the best way to go about it. Now, there is a whole bunch of other things that came out, and some of them are a little disappointing. So let's talk about some of the events now that we've talked about Crossfield quite a bit right now. Let's hop out here and we'll go to the events currently. So we do have the waiting for the wishing tree event. So this is just going to be doing your dailies. You're going to get snowflakes, which you could exchange for various items. Again, that's going to be Cobb. This is like the pre-event. What's more important is probably the 200-day celebration roulette. And one of the rewards here at a 1% chance is a 6-star pet selector accessory, which is extremely good. And you do have total rewards that you can get for this. Now, unfortunately, at the 250 total rewards is going to be the rare 4-star equipment selection chest, which we've all come to know and love. But unfortunately, most of us are not going to get there. Even if we were to do all of the free events and get all of the free roulettes, there's no way there's going to be enough 200 roulette tickets in order to get that far. Most people, in order to get that, are going to have to buy likely all 3 of the $79.99 bundles for like select familiar, select, weapons, select armor, all of that in order to unlock that. So keep that in mind. This is going to be really for mega whales. If you're free to play, you might be able to shoot for the special skill selection chest. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to get that even as free to play, because you're only really going to be able to get maybe like 50 to 60, I think, total. We'll kind of have to wait and see, but it was definitely a bit of a bummer. There is going to be this roulette coupon missions, but even if you go through online and you look at the full list of the coupon missions and how many coupons you get, you're really only going to get like 30 to 40 from these. We do also have a 200-day celebration login, which is pretty awesome. Lots of tickets. You do get a rare 4-star equipment selector from this. You get a rare 4-star familiar selector. Important to note, there's no Kona in this. And you are going to get a new hat, so it's all going to be very good and well done. Now, that's pretty much it for most of the content. You do have a new shop, which is going to be the Ice Jade shop. You will want to buy the Unstable Time Stone that's in here, and you will want to buy out the Unstable Time Stones weekly. That's going to be just something you're going to want to do. There's a new puzzle in here. Go and bust that out. But we do have a lot of new shop stuff, and I haven't been the biggest advocate for the shop recently. I feel like there haven't been really very many good deals, but I will say this time around there is a couple that I'm keeping my eyes on. You do get a free gift, so make sure you grab that. But I do think some of these are really good with the roulettes, with the $7.99 here. You have a 4-star familiar selector and a 4-star equipment selector for $12.99. That's another Ebon Torex that you can get for your build or for your familiar arena team, so I'm all for that. You have some roulette tickets you can buy with gold. There's just some pretty good things here, and I think what really stood out to me, you do have $79.99 selectors for the weapon, armor, and familiar, but I really like the $199 50 Tetro puzzle inventory expansion. I get Tetro puzzles aren't that bad to manage, they're not crazy, but I really am a fan of this, and I'm like, for $199, I think it's worth it. It's such an inconvenience, and it should also be noted that there is a 50 inventory expansion here as well if you are wanting to pursue it. The Ursa did come out, and Ursa, of course, did come with one of the better bundles, which is pretty good to know. I know last time that we did this kind of relay bundle, this was really good for me getting tickets beforehand and stocking up on tickets. So it is going to be pretty much like a $79.99. You get Ursa guaranteed, but you are going to get, you know, upwards of 80 familiar tickets as well, and potentially even more than that, more like 100 familiar tickets. So that's in addition to getting 30 equipment, 30 costume, and as well as getting a 5-star life jacket for him. It's going to be really good. I don't think Ursa's the best familiar to chase right now, because I think he's going to be very kind of niche in terms of just for the Crossfields event. But if you really want them, this is kind of a good way to go. We do also have the Masquerade outfit. It does give 3 pieces of gear. Still not sold on it. And then, of course, we have some other interesting things here, which I think you should just completely pass by. The 10 tickets, 2 pink pots might be worth it. But again, I have slowed my spending on the game. I'm not too crazy on it. So I'm not sure I will purchase that right now. Another thing to point out now is that we do have Crossfield mission achievement perks. So you can get time stones, you can get diamonds, and you can also get feasts as well, or food. So keep that in mind just as you are going through and looking through this. It's not going to be incredible. It's not going to be remarkable. They're both $39.99 packs. So they are going to be good, but they're not going to be the best in the world. They're just going to be kind of there to help you along. All right, everybody, I hope you guys all kind of got some use out of this video. I probably will stream tonight. I am feeling better, so I probably will actually stream our server versus server. There is some weird things going on that I do want to figure out still with it, such as like, it seems like when you're matched against the server, you only have that server in your channels, whereas I thought it was a little bit more open. So we might have some differences to KR going on that we may want to explore. That, or it could just be a little bit weird since I haven't gotten to see it firsthand yet in any of my content. So thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I will catch you guys all later.